So when you see the title of this series, Why Theology Debates Fail, the thing that's going to come into your mind is you're either going to believe that they don't fail, they do fail, and then you might be wondering why a guy that is a formal debater, a Christian debater, would be saying theology debates fail. Well, in this series, we're going to be talking about that. So you can see this slide right here, why debates fail. The debate is the tip of the iceberg. Basically, what that means is that whenever we're doing a debate, it's sort of like a sermon. It's sort of like a teaching that you see. You don't see all the preparation the pastor did or the teacher did to be able to deliver that in that particular way. The difference is, of course, is that you have two people doing that, or hopefully doing that. So as I already said, you got those people that agree with debates failing. You got those that disagree, and you got those that are curious about why a debater would say this. Well, number one, I want to say that debates often do succeed. I'm optimistic about debates. The progress that is generated, the research that's generated, the clarifications that occur in my own position, the challenges, and they, in other words, they succeed for their intended purpose. Okay, and I didn't list all of their intended purposes. Okay, but remember this. The debate is the only thing that you're seeing right there is what's on the surface. But when we go below the surface, then we're going to have to examine things that relate to different definitions, different categories, different assumptions, different burdens of proof, okay, and the hidden systems that are involved here. So I noticed while I was talking that I was looking at my image over there. I need to be looking at the camera. But regardless of that, you know, it's first series and I'm recording, so we'll go on with this. All right, so then the thing is that we need to see what debates are built on, all right? So that's below the surface. So theological debates give clarity over conclusion, all right? So what we see in the debate, as we see with this image, I know some of this is repetitive, but it's going to be a short video, and I want to get this idea across, is only the top. The reasoning underneath is what we rarely see. See, everyone claims the same things. Everyone says, typically in these debates, we believe the Bible. The Bible is our final authority. You know, maybe if you're Catholic or Orthodox, you may not say it exactly like that. But even they claim that they read the Bible. Even they claim that it is a source. All right. So we care about context. Everybody claims that, right? But the thing is, and everybody understands that context changes meaning, but people have a different concept of context. Everybody claims to say we follow scripture and we want to be faithful to what God said. And some of them, or most people that I've encountered, they say we believe grammar matters, whether that's in the English, original language, or whatever. They want you to understand their statements, their arguments, so words, syntax, and structure matter. Yet we arrive at contradictory conclusions. Okay? So why most theology debates fail? The real problem is procedural instability. That's kind of like what we're going to be hinting at in this episode, this pilot. So how can we claim to believe the same Bible, value context and grammar, yet reach opposite conclusions? That's the question to be thinking about. So once again, the real issue is procedural instability. Most theology debates fail because people are operating with different procedure rules without realizing. So you have the same authorities, different procedures, different conclusions. All right. Now let's talk about the formal debate, how it exposed something. First off, it exposes the need for clarity. All right. So what happens is when you're preparing for a debate and when you're delivering a debate, it creates communication pressure. All right. And then so what essentially happens is weak explanations are going to collapse publicly. So you want to have everything sharp before you go into the debate. Refined, you know, as Hayden Robinson said, and I don't know if it's original with him, a mist in the pew is a fog. I'm sorry. A mist in the pew pulpit is a fog in the pew. So if the person communicating is not clear, then the people and the audience are not going to understand things, right? So the other thing is that objections in debates will expose unclear assumptions in a debate. And the feedback from the debates, what happens there, replaying the tape, learning from that, other people's input, reactions, all that stuff forces refinement. So what appears on the surface is only the top, right? The debate, but the reasoning underneath is what we're talking about. Now I have a screen here. Okay, I moved it so I can see the words. It says the reasoning underneath is what we rarely see. So once again, the conclusions, what we hear, the visible part, the reasoning, what we don't see, the larger part. So this relates to the discovery. Some of you may be saying, well, this is common sense. This is obvious. Well, we got to start at the basic level before we go deeper. All right, the first thing that we recognize is that you have category shifts. People shift categories in the middle of arguments. Number two, words appear to be changing meaning in the middle of debates sometimes. And these words change meaning to fit conclusions. Number three, theology enters too early. Theology enters before the text is stabilized. And four, metaphors become doctrine. Sometimes even analogies, illustrations, all of that. But I'm starting right here with metaphors becoming doctrine. And too quickly. Metaphors need to be unpacked before you try to understand how they relate to the issue at hand. Okay, so many theological disagreements are procedural before they're theological. Okay, keep that in mind. So what we just seen in this short video, right, the takeaway from all of this is that the real problem is not the Bible, it's procedural instability. All right, the same authorities do not guarantee the same process. The hidden assumptions shape visible conclusions, and clarity begins when we distinguish before we harmonize. All right, so you can see that what's going on there. There's other things that we'll go into in the future, but I just wanted to make this short video, and then I'm going to go, because I don't have work tomorrow. Tomorrow's Memorial Day. I'm going to go ahead and go right into the next video. Forgive me if I keep looking over that way. I probably won't get used to looking at the camera. If the camera was over there, maybe I get that chance. But anyway, check out more content of the Layman Seminary, old stuff, new stuff. It's all good. God bless.